Right, welcome to another edition of Revved Up, the very show that pretty much takes you through the motor world. Machines that are run by the engines is what we're all about. Now this week we have an action-packed show for you as well. Later on in the show we shall be talking about this very car, the Pop's favorite car here in Uganda. So I've just been sharing space with the Pop, ladies and gentlemen. But that aside, we shall also be talking to a celebrity on the show today, try and find out what kind of cars they drive, why they prefer those very cars, and of course everything to do with the classics. Take you back in time, look at the cars that made the headlines then. Plus, don't forget, we always give you a couple of tips, safety tips, driving tips, just to make sure your cars are kept very fine as well. So hey, come join me on this beautiful ride as we go through the motorway. I'm Andrew Kabura and this is Revved Up.
On this edition of Revved Up, Car Care, brought to you by Shell Helix. If one of your taillights is broken or not illuminating, don't take your car to a mechanic. Knowing how to replace burnt-out taillights can save you from expensive maintenance. First, open your car's boot and remove the side panel inside. Take out the faulty bulb. Carefully remove the bulb and check the filaments inside. If the filament looks damaged, your bulb will need to be replaced. You can take your bulb to any local auto store and buy the correct model for your car. Simply put in the new bulb and move it back into place. Then reattach the side panel. Good and well-functioning tail lights will ensure that you can drive safely and avoid unfortunate accidents. In an age where people are becoming increasingly dependent on smartphones, Toyota have taken it one step further and created a smartphone-inspired vehicle, the Toyota Fun VII. As its name suggests, this battery-powered car was created for advanced entertainment and relaxation purposes. The outside of the car is essentially one large touchscreen that can change color, project images, recognize its owner, and connect to social media through a smartphone app. The inside of the car is interactive too. An auto drive option allows greater freedom and comfort, while an automated system provides navigation information. Much like the exterior, there are changeable panels covering the floors and roofs so that various images, scenes, and smartphone features can be displayed if desired. The accessibility to social media is perhaps the most beneficial aspect of the Toyota Fun VII. It allows the owner to see which friends are close by, as well as receive messages, call, and link up with other Fun VII travelers. This interconnectivity is one of Toyota's goals for the smartphone car, and although it's still just a concept, the possibility of these new vehicles being introduced into society could forever change the way we view transportation. To quote the president of Toyota, "If it's not fun, It's not a car.
All right, so it's celebrity rides here on Revved Up for this very week. And as always, we get you the biggest celebrities. Now, this week, we have so much excitement for the guest we have on board. He's a man responsible for millions of fans' happiness. The Uganda Cranes head coach, Milton Micho Sredojevic. And he'll be taking us through his ride as well, telling us what exactly got him thinking into getting this very car and how good it is in helping the national team, making sure he's at training very early. Me and Micho have met at so many international tournaments and it's always been about football. So this is kind of different. Are you feeling uncomfortable that this is kind of different?
Very uncomfortable and very funny because I'm expecting you to ask me about the tactics, about the result, about the way things went and whatever.
Yeah.
So this is an area where I feel like fish out of water.
I fully understand what Micho is going through right now. But Micho, let's talk about, first of all, you're the most recognizable foreign coach in East Africa, if not the African continent, because you've been all over the place. Before we talk about your car, I want to ask you, how have you managed? There's this thought of African football is hard to deal with. There's this thought of too much politics, so many raw talents. How have you managed to be in Africa for these years?
I need to tell you, even me myself, I go to church and ask God, thank you, God, for allowing me to live in Africa for 15 years. 58 coaches have come and gone. I stood. And I need to thank all the good people because I came with an intention not to be what I am, Serbian, but to turn myself with culture, tradition, style of life and habits to become an African. I'm really honored and privileged to be all these years sharing life happiness with my brothers from Africa.
You know what's funny? My next question to Micho now would have been, so why did you start with Farouk Mia in the midfield and you did not start with this defender? That's what our normal conversation always is. But now, Micho, we have to talk about your car because this is Revved Up. For starters, tell me, why do you have this specific car?
First of all, I need to tell you, since I have come, first they have driven me, I had a driver, but I'm 100% maybe the first coach that has, in the shortest possible time, dropped driver and taken myself to ride around, because as soon as you acclimatize, as more you are becoming Ugandan. It happened back in 2000 until 2004. And then in all other countries, I had situation that if you want to know one country, you need to drive yourself around. My second homecoming back to Uganda take me in a situation to have a car that would be mobile to reach any corner of Uganda in order to spot and see the talents and matches played around. And second, to reach traffic that is a bit sometimes very crazy in Kampala, to the Nambole Stadium, to other stadiums in around Kampala. So I'm satisfied. RAV4 has helped me to reach everywhere where I'm supposed to be as a coach.
Look, Coach, there are so many youngsters out there, young footballers or even young football fans who see you driving a car and they want to drive that very car, or who are getting some little money and want to have their first car as well. Which 2 or 3 tips can you give some of those young footballers, or even some of those young Ugandans watching us right now? What should they look out for every time you're going to get a new car?
I need to tell you something. Let me return myself in the age that those young players are. When I was young, I was simply falling in love that time with my first car, Fiat 127. And it was very funny because it's hard to get spare parts. So first advice that I would give is to take the car that spare parts are available at any corner. And as we see, I don't want to advertise too much, but we know what kind of cars are available spare parts to have. Then what is very important also is question of the tires. Also, I don't want to advertise now city tires, this one or that one, but I would say to take care to have good tires in order to take you where you want, because our roads are not in perfect state. There are holes everywhere and whatever, so you need to be really good in that aspect so that you are not stopping anywhere.
All right, that is it with Micho this very week. Now, before he goes, I want to do something very, very small for the sake of the memories. Yeah, I'll put this down. I'll take a quick selfie with the head coach of the Uganda Cranes.
We have with us on Revved Up, Alan Muhunza, Vice President of Marketing and Sales of Kira Motors. Thanks for being with us on the program. Tell us about Kira Motors. We've all seen pictures of the bus and we've seen different news articles in the newspapers. But tell us how it started.
So Kira Motors Corporation is a presidential initiative for automotive manufacturing in Uganda. The key stakeholders or equity partners are Uganda Development Corporation with 96% stake and Makerere University with 4%. And we are a vehicle manufacturing company, if you might put it, the first of its kind in Uganda and East Africa. And we will begin production of these vehicles in 2018 with our product mix having SUVs, pickups, sedans, light and medium duty trucks and buses. Well, the history of Kira Motors Corporation, it all began as Kira Motors project back at Makerere University after students had taken part in developing on an international project to develop the Vision 200, an electric vehicle with people from MIT and very many other international institutions, which was completed. And the students then, together with Professor Sandy Stevens, Tikori Togboa, currently Honorable Sandy Stevens, Tikori Togboa, began a small project or a small thing to realize and see how possible it was to actually develop vehicle manufacturing capabilities in Uganda, and embarked on another project to develop a product or a car made in Uganda for Uganda by Ugandans, hence the birth of the Kira EV, the first electric vehicle developed in Uganda. That's a small green car that was flagship then, which brought the attention of the president, who then opened up his arms to support the project, and as under the Presidential Initiative for Science and Technology. And over the years, we have grown through that and developed more capabilities with the development of the Kira Smack EV, that was a hybrid vehicle utilizing both fuel and electricity. As we strengthened that capacity and we were sure that there was actually capacity and capability to develop vehicles here in Uganda, homegrown. And our latest flagship, or could I say prototype vehicle, is the Kayola Solar Bus, which was launched just recently by His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni. Well, it's an electric vehicle, but it has solar panels as well that power the vehicle while it is running.
And how far can these vehicles go on electric vehicles on one charge? On
one charge? Well, the Kayola Solar Bus has battery banks. It has 2 battery banks. One at one time is running the bus while the other is being charged, because it's not always good practice to have a battery being discharged while being charged at the same time. So there are 2 battery banks. One is a primary while the other is secondary. In the sense of the secondary is being charged, the primary is being used, and there is an automatic switchover when the charge has been depleted from one charge. Now on full charge, the Kayola Solar Bus can go up to 80 kilometers. That is its range. It's an executive 35-seater bus. It's meant to be used within the city for transportation within the city. So 80 kilometers is actually a good range for a city bus. And the solar panels, they give a range extension of 12 kilometers, so that you can say it has a range of 92 kilometers with fully charged with a range extension from the solar panels.
How do you see the impact of your work will be in Uganda and in East Africa?
We have made the right decision, I should say, to invest in the automotive industry. Why I say that is that the automotive industry is not just a standalone industry. When you look at the value chain of the automotive industry, and also the kind of human resource that we're looking at, because we're looking at over 12,000 jobs being created from Kira Motors Corporation, the plant. But that excludes support industries, because you're not developing everything and manufacturing everything in-house. An example I can give is the Kayola solar bus. All those things were not done by Kira Motors Corporation staff. Of course, we did the ideation, the design, the specifications, and some of the work on the bus. But when you look at the panel beating of that bus, of that body, that material, the steel, it was done by people here in Uganda who do some other work on other trucks and buses. And as you can see, there is capacity to actually manufacture these buses. You're looking at parts distributors and parts manufacturers who can also sprout up within the region. Kenya currently has capacity to do glasses. They actually did the glasses on the Kayola solar bus. So in the whole of East Africa, you'll be creating opportunities for jobs, not just in Kira Motors, but also in other support industries. And on top of that, of course, we are investing in research in renewable energy, solar, and electricity.
Well, I'm sure a lot of Ugandans, and myself included, are looking forward to buying one of these vehicles. When will they come on the market, and so we can start saving up? Do you have any projection of the cost?
Oh yeah. I'm also looking forward to driving Kira Smack. We are looking at production starting in 2018, and in that year, we are looking at a production of 305 vehicles at the start for that year. But of course, the capacity will keep increasing over the years. But 2018, be sure to have placed your order of any of our cars, be it the EVs, the Kira Smack, or the X-Over, that's our crossover vehicle, or the XT, which is our pickup vehicle. Or even if you want a bus, you could order for one. I mean, the opportunities are limitless.
Well, Alan, thanks so much for being with us on Revved Up. We're looking forward to tracking your progress
It's
over
been a
the
pleasure.
years, and you're invited to come back onto the program to keep us updated.
It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to even more discussions, even as we go along and as the plant even comes up. We are excited for the future and for Uganda, for vehicles made in Uganda, and what this is going to do for our nation, not just this nation, but East Africa and Africa at large.
Reliable yet stylish. Secure yet comfortable. The Kia Soul is a vehicle that is efficient, spacious and modern, but still has an affordable price tag. This redesigned version of the 2008 Classic has improved engine power and a modified exterior, although it retains its immediately recognizable cubic shape. Entering and exiting the Kia Soul is easy thanks to its wide doors and accommodating seats. Bluetooth and steering wheel mounted controls promote safety through hands-free driving. The interior has a very modern and hipster feel, with an array of speakers that even light up to the beat. And what is it like when you take it on the road?
comes off as a small car until you get inside and realize how big it is.
Yeah, you're right. The Kia Soul has been known to demystify categorization in terms of cars.
Yeah.
Looks like a little hatchback, yet it passes as a mid-size crossover. And it gives a lot more space than even the seemingly bigger cars in a bigger class than it is.
And the comfort is everything. I mean, you can't explain to the viewer how the comfort is, but the interior finishing itself is as beautiful as it gets.
Yeah, you know, there's so much evolution in the car industry today. For example, in olden days, we used to measure size of cars based on sizes of engines.
Yeah.
Driving a 6,000 cc engine. Today, it's not about the cc size of a car, because we've got a lot of power, production efficiency in all these cars.
Yeah.
Looking at this 1,600 cc, the power is enormous compared to so many other cars that are traditionally measured on the benchmark of engine capacities. So technology has shifted. And
the comfort from a driver's perspective, we talk about the braking system, we talk about the acceleration, we talk about the easy usage with the steering wheel itself. What is the comfort like?
What can I say? You said it all. It will give you all the comfort and the power efficiency, fuel efficiency. This car will give you between 13 to 16 kilometers on a liter of fuel.
Yeah.
And that's really efficient by any standards.
It's actually generally a youthful car. If you look at the kind of swag, I should say, it has inside. Yeah, because if you look at the changing of lights with the speakers, you look at the functions right in the middle. I think it comes off as a youth, but I mean, anyone can still have it. Anyone can still drive it. It should be comfortable. Now, honestly, I think I like the Kia first of all for its comfort, and it's very surprising how the size outside is not the space inside, if you know what I mean. It's completely different, because from the outside you can even think it's pretty much a two-seater from a distance away, and the safety as well. But the acceleration?
That I could just show you. I don't want to talk about, because this is what we're talking about. You will pick speed anytime you want, and you will brake anytime you want. Just at the call of it.
Beautiful ride.
The Kia Soul is a perfect blend of comfort and practicality that offers something for everyone, and does so in an unassuming way that only adds to its charm.
All right, hope you guys have enjoyed the show this very week. I also hope you've learned more and more about the Kia Soul, one of the most beautiful cars you definitely can have in your garage. Beautiful for the family as well as all the other segments, including the celebrity, and of course everything to do with the classics and the various segments, and also of course include issues like road safety. Now do remember, join us on Facebook, give us your views on the show, plus also go on and tell us which car maybe you want on the show in the very near future. Now, like I said, the Pope used this very car when he was in Uganda. So right now I'm going to drive off as I end the show, plus also enjoy the moments the Pope most likely could have enjoyed here in Uganda as we drive off now.
Next week on Revved Up.